The problem with real estate is that if you could get leads all day, let's say if you could do 10 transactions a month that just come to you, right? I mean, at the end of the day, doing the deal is not as hard. It's getting all the clients consistently, right? So, real estate, if you can have like a client, acquisition, a really great acquisition, bro, real estate is easy. That's why on our team, we have like people calling, we have people booking for our team members. You want to just keep going. Hello, how are you? It looks like it's just me and you, Mitch. Sorry, I think you're still on mute.
How are you today?
Man, I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm down here in Virginia, man. We're going to get snow this weekend, I think.
Well, welcome to the club. I've already been getting snow.
I figured you had.
Right? Does Virginia usually get snow or not really?
No, I've lived here 30 some years and you guys get snow every year.
Yes.
Okay. If we know snow's coming, let's just say today it was coming tomorrow, they would close the schools today. I'm talking half inch, maybe.
Okay.
We would all run to the store and buy toilet paper over a half inch or an inch of snow. I mean, this just shuts this area down.
That's not bad though. It's
So
like a free day off. Perfect day to call people because people are home.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking too.
It's amazing. Well, I mean, it's just, you and I. So instead of going through like the whole everything, I think it'd be easier to do some one-on-one training or coaching or, mentorship, whichever you need at this time. I'm here for you. So I can go over a few things, but is there anything specifically you want me to cover?
No, my challenge is, I've been doing this like 20 some years and I've been mostly with buyers.
Okay.
Like 80-90% buyers. This year I decided to switch to listings and sellers. And it's been a challenge for me, honestly.
Because it's like speaking Mandarin and Cantonese. They're two different languages. Yes.
Buyers just you meet them at the house, you talk to them. It's kind of a little bit easier to meet them. Sellers are a little bit different. You call them, they don't answer. You call them. It's a little bit more of a challenge with sellers to just keep calling them. That's where I find the challenge.
Okay. So a few questions before we go over that is usually with your buyers, how do you get your buyers? Just open houses? You're just meeting people?
Oh, no. I usually market for them.
Yeah.
I've been with this one company, Redfin. You guys probably heard of Redfin. So I've been with them for like 10, 12 years.
Cool.
They're almost all buyers. And then people just kind of stumble in.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening and one flies out of the bush and you do it.
Yeah.
I do marketing for them, but they're just, to me, they're easier. I have more confidence. When I call them, they don't answer. I don't get upset.
Yeah.
Seller doesn't answer. You go off the deep end like them. They don't ever talk to you.
For sure. I can totally understand that.
So mine is making that mental challenge to call them consistently. Like if I call them today, they don't answer. The challenge isn't that call. It's the next one. Yeah. Why do I keep calling them?
Yeah.
So I'm going through that mental thing. So
So I can definitely give you some support on that. So definitely for me, a little bit about myself. I've been doing real estate for 10 years. I went solo for the first 8 months, then joined my mentor's team for 3 or 4 years. And then when COVID happened, I went solo, right? So it's like almost 5 years now, or probably 5 years. So what I've learned a lot from, I built my business through online leads because my mentor / my team lead, he focused on online leads, right? So it's good that you're doing that and you know how to convert. The thing is, though, is that whenever you're calling online leads, you're calling a bunch of people that are filling out forms, entering their information, depending on motivation level, all that stuff. So remember, when someone calls you or when you call someone and they don't answer, I take that as a not yet. I don't take that as a no, because a few things is like, we don't know what's going on in their life. Number two, whenever we called or whichever, they weren't available to do it. If they didn't want to talk to you, they could text you back and say, hey, not interested. and then you're
Right.
okay with it. But if they didn't, right, two chances are they probably don't know who called yet. And the second thing is, we're not in front of their faces. What has happened so far is not grab their attention. So I think it comes down to a mental shift where it's like, hey, if people don't answer, it's a not yet. Whether you don't call people on the 3 or 5 or 7 time, like it doesn't matter. It's a not yet. If they didn't want to talk to you, they would tell you.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the uncomfortable shift, but once you get numb to it, super easy. Now, the next thing that I would say is, you need scripting. I think it's a certain way because, like I said, talking
Right.
to buyers and sellers are two different languages, right? As a buyer, what they're looking for as a buyer agent, sometimes they're just most of the time, I feel like it's convenience, right? Like, for example,
Right.
they're looking at a property, they message you, hey, I want to see you book it. It's cool, right? Then you meet someone, you're in that interview stage, you show your values, you get it done, you do the deal. Cool, awesome.
Right. Right.
So, with sellers, it's different because now it's not just like convenient based. You now have to showcase how can I get this person top dollar, right? Like if you put yourself as like, hey, okay, Mitch, you're gonna sell your house. I come to your house. What's your pre-notions of what you're thinking anyways in your house? Obviously, like you want to get top dollar. Obviously, you want someone who can market the property. You also want someone who's connected, whether you're using your vendors, cleaners, stagers, painters, whatever, right? Like
Right.
it's a whole different ball game instead of just like going to the property, showcase, write the offer, get the deal done. It's now like you put your money where your mouth is. And when I say that is you go to the house, you do the home assessment. This is the range it's going to sell for, right? That's what you're confident in
Right.
the
Right.
market saying. Now it's like, okay, now you got to spend money, right, to make sure that the house looks great. And now you have to go on the market and deal with like, seller's pain where, okay, you have to chase down all the feedback. You have to, update them. You have to give them comps on the fly when things start changing and we're not getting showings. Now you have a whole different set of objections of sellers just being fucking painful, right?
Absolutely. All of that. Yes.
So I think it's more of just like understanding what tools are needed because if you just go to like a seller, like right now, if you call a seller, how would you, and remember, this is a safe space. We're all trying to help each other, but
Right.
like,
Right.
what is your opening script? Like, how do you like, you get someone on the phone? Do you know what you're going to say and how you're going to say it?
I would say yes. I'm going to say something.
Of
I'm
course.
talking to a for sale by owner. I have a script for that. Most of them are for sale by owners, but the leads we get from here, we don't. They're actually not for sale by owners, just people interested in their house.
Yes.
So when I usually talk to them, I say, "Hey, look, I see you're interested in 123 Main Street. You asked for a valuation assessment." And then they're going to say something like, "Yes, I have." And then I just start talking.
No, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, no, I didn't put that information in.
That wasn't me. That wasn't my name, phone number, address. Yes.
Yeah. And what I say usually at that line, and this is another script, right? And this is being bold as well. Hey,
No.
Mitch, totally understand, but obviously you have your information here because I didn't just pick 7 or 9 random numbers to call and connect.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty amazing if I could. So, hey, the question is, are you still in? I know that I'm just calling you out of the blue. However, this is not a sales call by any means. This is just, you requested the online assessment. I'm just here to find a little bit more information because obviously a property is not the same as like an object, right? Like it's not like a baseball that I know what I'm getting, right? Like it's
Right.
a car.
Right.
So the upgrades, right? So my job at, trying to help you find your evaluation is to ask questions on if there has been any improvements, alterations, additions on the property to help me raise your value.
Wow. You've said that a few times.
Yeah. So that's just even like one, right? So, but really the script is when I'm calling people, usually because with the AI, it books a lot of things for me. And then I have like, ISA
Right.
calls. So I'm really just dealing with people that are booking appointments to talk to me.
Right.
But basically, when I did not have that at the beginning, I literally was calling them, and it was more so of just like, hey, Mitch, hope you're doing well. It's actually Nick Moretti giving you a shout. I actually want to, thank you for a moment for filling out the form and trying to find out your online assessment. I've been looking at comps. I think there's things that would surprise you. However, I just need a few more details that I can push your online value. Just to confirm a few things because I've already done the homework. Is your house a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home? Right? You go right into it because if you start asking for permission, that's when they're going to
Right.
say no most of the time. So I think
No,
it's
I'm listening. I see exactly how you do that. And yes, that's what I need to remember.
Yes.
Don't stop. Just keep talking, so
Well,
to speak.
yeah, like in relation to it, right? Like I think it's also
Right.
the way that you speak as well. As you can tell, the first thing I did was let them know quickly who I am. I didn't say I'm Nick Moretti from Keller Williams Brokerage. Like fuck that.
Right.
Like just say, hey, it's just Nick giving you a shout. I actually want to thank you, so thank them because they're like, who the fuck is calling me and like why right? So you have another moment of your time, so their guards down, right? Just thank you for filling out the online assessment. I know you're probably just in that information stage, but I've been looking at comps, and you probably be surprised. But there's a few questions I wanted to ask just before I release that number. Can I,
Mm.
you can even say like, I have the information ready. I got to ask you a few questions. Would that be okay? I wouldn't really even say that. I would kind of go right into it, being like,
Right
hey,
into
you have a 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom home. Is that right? Oh, cool. I see that you purchased this in 2020. Have you done any additions to the house? Have you done? And like, remember, I'm not even talking about real estate. I'm not even talking about numbers. I'm talking and asking about what have they done to their house. I'm asking them
right.
questions because as I ask questions, that's your defense. When you ask questions, you're looking for that, actual seamless conversation that goes back and forth, right? Like you're asking questions, you're listening, and then you're asking, and then you're listening, and then asking. You want
Right. Right.
flow states because once you're at that flow state, there's trust, they're listening to you, you have them engaged, right?
Right.
Now it's about bringing in the fish in and trying to get the home assessment. And you do that, right? So you do that by basically just saying, after you go through all the details, you could also say it's like, hey, so I really appreciate all the details. Comps right now are all over the place. However, there's been some really good comps. I mean, my only fear is that since you've done some good things to the house, let's say this lead has done that.
Right.
um,
Right.
my only fear is that I'm going to give you an online assessment that might be a little low, and I don't feel that it's serving you at your highest and best need. So, I do have a
Hmm.
solution. Now, and I'm curious about it. Would you be open for me to come by sometime next week or the week after? Remember, this is not a sales call. It's me to come in, see all the hard work and updates that you've done and the premium finishes, because I would love to assess it in the most premium light and push this number up as high as possible. Are you available sometime next week or the week after?
So he says, no, I don't think
Okay.
I need that.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, so I totally understand that you may not need it. Remember, I understand that you're in the information stage. Maybe you're at the stage where you just want a number, but my number might not be the highest number. And curious, do you have investments, Mitch?
No, I do not.
No, nothing at all. You don't even have it in like your high savings account
Oh,
in
yes, I do. Yes.
or RSPs or I mean, whatever it is there, right?
Right. Right.
Right?
Mhm.
Okay, so do you check those values from time to time?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, when's the last time you had a home assessment?
Well, probably I'm thinking years and years ago, maybe I
Yeah.
asked my neighbor or something and when his house sold.
So I mean, those are good benchmarks, but that's not actually the value of your house because every home is different, right? Square footage, layout, all that stuff, finishes. So my thing is, since you've already, check on your investments, like you said, and you haven't had a home assessment in about 5 years, give or take, let's say.
Right. Right.
Question is like, if you were sitting on more money, wouldn't you want to know?
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So that's when I'm here to tell you, right? And whenever you choose to spend it or make a move or whichever, cool, time is on you. But I'm here as the informant to give you that information to make sure that you know where it is because, whenever you're going to sell, wherever you're going to move, where would you want to go next? Right? So I'm already
Right.
starting asking questions. Really, I could have closed it then, right? Like after that question of like, hey, how about if you were curious if you could sit on more money? Perfect. Let me do this tour and let me showcase that, right? Let me give you that. And it's, we go from there. Are you available next week or the week after?
Convince me. Why don't you just come down here to Virginia and do?
Right? Exactly. It'll be
But
sunnier.
I get the feeling of how you say that.
Yes,
It's hard for the guy to keep saying no,
exactly.
no.
I am the reason why I'm successful in the field that I do is because I'm relentless. Sure, like I understand people are going to say no. I say no all the fucking time, but it's because I don't understand what is happening over the phone or what is going on, right? So once you know that there's some sort of value and there's connection and there's some improvement, that's when people will really give you time. And I think also too, real estate, in my opinion, or any sales job is about the vibe. It's about like what you give off,
Yeah,
how you do your business, how you
I
conduct
agree.
yourself. That's already half the battle. So I really think that you just have to get scripted. And I think that I would also look at, maybe if you have heavy listing agents in your office to maybe just ask them, hey, like, can I go over some processes with you?
Good point.
Right? Because, like, for
Yes.
example, okay, when I go to a listing appointment, I bring three documents. I bring three things. This is my listing book that I leave with them. I
Right.
bring like a folder, right? So my listing book is actually like, pretty on point with everything. So it has sorry, let me just show you this.
No, I can see.
So it has like the photo of the property. It has, I go into like why us. I go about our
Right.
team, who we are. I have all the other stuff, right? But we've custom made this. We have market stats, then we have comps, and then we have at the
Wow.
testimonials. So this is the thing, right? Like, the reason why you want to have listings is because you want to always list to last, right? Because when you buy, which is an amazing thing, but when you buy, people don't know that you bought. Right? What you should be doing is when you buy, you should, on that street that you've done, you should leave little hangers saying, hey, I helped one of our buyers get in here. There's more demand. Curious to know your market value. Reach out to me. Because since you do so many buys, right? So then
Yeah.
imagine with all the street that you do, you don't even want to you don't even talk to anyone, let's just say. You just go there and put the door hangers in.
Hadn't thought of that.
So these are other ideas, right? So it requires more effort, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a nice lead gen. And also, too, like, would you get a call from a curious neighbor? I think you would from that,
Oh, I think I would.
right?
Yeah, because you figure I did years and years ago, some guy showed me how to do an open house. And he said the best way to do an open house is like do it on a Sunday, but on Friday and Saturday, you take the 100 houses closest to the open house and you walk off, knock on the door, tell them I'm doing the open house, hand them something.
Exactly.
And one, two, maybe, but you get one or two people that you never would have got.
Exactly.
And I think that's what you're saying. And you do it one time and it works, and then you never do it again.
Yeah,
You know?
I know. The hard part, I know, the hard part in this business is not like, obviously sometimes putting deals together feels like friggin' like you're Michelangelo. But like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you know, people don't see the difference sometimes, right? And I think that, if you want to get, like, the problem with real estate is that if you could get leads all day, you know, let's say if you could do 10 transactions a month that just come to you, right? At the end of the day, doing the deal is not as hard. It's getting all the clients consistently, right? So real estate, if you can have like a client acquisition, really great acquisition, bro, real estate is easy. That's why on our team, we have like people calling, we have people booking for our team members
Right.
because it's like, you want to just keep going,
No, I hear you. It's funny how when you're ready to hear it, you hear it.
right?
When you're not ready, you go, man, I don't do listings. So I don't need to
Exactly.
hear that for 5 years until you're going to meet this guy named Nick, the
Exactly.
secret that's been
Yeah.
there forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to, like, we can go through a little exercise. So in 2026, how many deals are you looking to do?
2026, my goal, my overall goal, I might have mentioned this to you or some people, is to do 100 closings in a 12-month period.
Okay.
Whether you start this month, next month, but when you start with enough that you can do 100. If you do
Yeah.
80, great. But
Yes.
so that's my overall goal. It's a little challenging in the beginning to get there, but I
Yes.
haven't that's where I'm headed. I give it a 2-year period.
So how many transactions have you done like last year and the year before?
Well, last year was pretty dim. I think I did 20, I want to say like 24 in 23 or 24, and I only did like 12 last year. That
Cool.
was the year that people stop and
Yeah. Yeah.
like, what did I do different? So it's a challenged year. I never say bad, it's challenged, but that's about when I started making the change.
So I think really you have the skills to do the buy. So really, like, you know what it is to do the buy. I'm shocked that like people that buy with you, not one of those clients had to sell any houses.
I can't say no, I can't say yes. At the time, they must not have because it came off a buy lead program.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, you made me think about it. I
Because
would
like,
have taken it, but most of them weren't.
Are you asking the question though?
I probably didn't back then because I was so happy with the buy that, yay, that was my goal.
See, because most of the time people have to sell and then buy, right? So
Right.
you have to ask that question because even if you did 20, let's say in total 24 plus 12, 36, let's call it 40 deals you've done in 2 years, which is
Right.
great. Now, out of the 40 deals, you don't think 10 of those deals had a property to sell,
No, they probably did. I mean,
right? So that would have got you to fit.
yeah, yeah,
But I think before you start asking for listings, I think personally, you need to get a listing book together. I think you need to have a little bit more of some groundwork done because
mm,
go a difference, right? If you go to do a home assessment, what you're going to print off comps, you're going to talk to them about value, they're going to talk to you about commission, depending on what you offer, they may go to it. And then they may interview someone like myself who comes in, has a book, has, a little bit of a better presentation,
right,
that kind of stuff. So those are the people that you're competing against generally. So because
right,
if anyone's interviewing one person, they're probably interviewing two or three,
right.
especially being an online lead. Like sometimes it happens like that. So I find that, it's really important to, I find that it's just really important to make sure you ask that question, and B, to make sure that you have a ground frame of like, okay, you're going to this appointment, you know what to do and that kind of stuff, because that's all going to translate if they're going to hire you or not. And if you don't do a good job on the list, you might not get the buy.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring that up because I'm sensing that. I do have a listing currently, and I'm working on a buy list, like you say. But now I see I need to report back to the listing that I have, the seller, once a week. I never used to do that. When I got a listing 2 years ago, I put a sign up and said, I hope it sells. Now I sense that I need to know how many houses are in the area, what sold, what hadn't, what this, what that. So I sense, yes, what you're saying, I'm heading in that direction. I just got to
Perfect.
keep heading in it more and
All you
ask that question. That's a good.
Yeah. And it's super easy too, especially for like learning market value, is like every day you go into your office before you start work, like actually doing some stuff, take the 15, 20 minutes and go into your database, not your database, but like your market. For me, it's like
Uh-huh.
MLS, right? You go
Right.
into MLS and you look at what sold
Hmm.
last night, what sold yesterday, what sold in the last 2 or 3 days, right? And then also see like what's available right now, what is going on, right? Because every listing is a competition of your listing. So
Right.
if you list something high and there's better value at lower price, you're going to have frustrated sellers because people are not going to come to your property. And then your client's going to say, why aren't we getting showings? Then they're going to start having doubts. Then they're going to start digging heels in. So nowadays, it's like people want more, especially with having a phone and they're always connected, whether it's
Right.
work, whichever. Like, after showings, you have to, within 24 hours, I would always give them feedback of what happened. Super easy and transparent. Whatever was said, copy and paste the message and let them know my 2 cents or whatever, right? But you're doing that. Then you're going over the weekly reports. You're letting them know what it is, right? So it's a lot of like this, but the difference is instead of you going to do showings, taking whichever, all you do is you do your videos, you do your listing stuff, it's on the market, you take your phone calls, you do a lot of work behind the scenes at the desk.
Right. I see what
So,
you're saying.
so it's easier to manage, in my opinion, 10 listings than 10 buyers,
Oh, absolutely. In
right?
fact, I'm
So,
coming up. I'm on this listing where there were five in the area where he's at. He was the fourth. He wasn't the highest, but the highest reduced their sales price below
yeah,
his. Now I got to call him today
to let them
and
know,
tell him, hey, you're no longer underneath. We got
ranking.
to make some changes.
Exactly. But
Funny
that's
how
what it
people.
is. And like honestly, having those conversations that feel like conflict, which they're not, it's just frustrating, obviously, right? Because we're talking about people's money. You're telling me to reduce our competition, reduce their price, 20K, let's say now they're under us. Now
Mhm.
I got to reduce mine another 20K. So I'm losing another 20K plus probably more. So I mean, in their eyes, it's money, right? Which is fine.
Right.
At the end of the day, I always remind people like, hey, listen, this is a stock, right? I can only control how our listing looks, what it looks like online, the touring experience, and our price. I cannot control what the fuck the market does and
That's right.
what our competition does.
Yeah.
So if our competition start going lower than us, guess what? Unfortunately, if you want to sell, you got to go lower. So, and then it's like weeding out, okay, which seller is motivated? Because I'm not just like last year I did like 61 deals, and the problem was some people would just change your mind, which never happened, but it just happened.
Yeah.
Change their mind last minute after everything looks nice, saying that they want more money. And it's like, bro, like, no, we're making it look good so we can have this. This is the game plan, right? So I've had a few listings this year that a kind of took over weirdly, and also like, I took listings that I think I know I shouldn't have took in my gut
Right.
because they
Right.
didn't sell. And this was out of 10 years. This was my first year never selling one of my listings.
Really.
Yeah. So like that sucked, but you know what? It is what it is.
Oh, well, 60 isn't bad out of 61.
No, exactly. No, it would have been like
Oh,
66.
oh, I
Like,
see.
you know what
Okay.
I'm saying?
But see, with the experience you have, yes, that's not good, but okay,
It
I
is what
got
it is.
that. I'm moving on.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm learning today is and I was saying that people come into your life at the right time. So I'm at
Exactly.
this thing right now because you have this information that exactly what I'm looking for.
Right. And it really resonates with you. And I think that you
It
definitely have
does.
tons of experience and you know how to do it. It's just getting out there.
Well, I'm going to do this, and then next week I'll be back to tell you
Can't
how it
wait.
goes.
Can't wait. Well,
Yeah, man, seriously.
do you want to go over, I guess, some objections that you may have or, that you may face so we can kind of help you with that? And then
Hey,
next,
please.
so give me whatever you want and give me any objections, be any type of client, and I'll do my best.
Well, you solved one about because I had one I called the other day, and she called me back and said nobody named Alice at this place.
Okay.
I called, I'd sent a text. She came back and said no one named Alice at his. I said nobody named Alice, and I didn't know what to say, so I just said okay.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? Honestly, at the end of the day, that's fine. I mean, you can't really do
Yeah,
anything with stuff. Remember, the beautiful part about online leads is that you get a lot of people. Think about online leads as you have a store, okay? And people are just walking in, right? So, like that's what your online leads are. Once your ads are out there, people are walking to your store, right? So, maybe you can't help that one, but you're waiting for the next person, right? So,
right.
and you get an abundance of leads. So, like you don't give a shit. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't give a shit either. Like, I mean, obviously I want to help you. I don't want to lose deals, but like if you're like, someone clearly entered your number, it may be you, may not be, but whichever way, just like, okay, move on, right? Like,
yeah, yeah. And that was my feeling on that.
and don't even let it give you any, don't make it lower your motivation level because of that. That's something that you can't control, right? What we want to do is just we want to focus on conversations. We just want to focus on how many conversations. On my team and my rule is that we want 20 contacts a day. So we don't want 20 phone calls because you can talk to 20, you can call 20 people and only talk to 3 people.
Right.
We want 20 actual conversations about real estate a day, Monday to Friday. That's 100 contacts a week. If you do that 4 weeks consistently, that's 400 contacts. You're telling me out of 400 contacts, you can't get 4 deals out of 400 people? It might not be today deals, but it might be 3 to 6 months out. And the sad part is in real estate or in anything in life is the problem is we want this instant gratification, right? We want
Yeah.
this instant gratification. I want to take this person out. I want to write this fucking offer. I want to make this money and I want to spend this money. But the problem is I lost what I was saying because I was laughing about myself. Because you want to make this money at the end of the day, right? But at the end of the day, you want to just let them know that I totally forgot where I was going with that.
This is like the most important part of this
I
conversation.
know,
You know
I know,
that.
I know, I know. I threw it on the side thing, but
No.
going back on the lower motivation, right? You have so many people that are coming in that it doesn't matter. You want to help everyone, but you can't help people that you can't help. So what's more important is focusing on conversation. So 20 contacts a day out of the 100 contacts a week, right? Out of the 4 weeks, 4 deals a month, you should be able to do no problem. The thing about life is this, is whatever you do today, it doesn't show for 3 to 6 months. So if you're
Hmm.
showing me you're working hard today, I won't know until really 3 months at least.
So you have your people do 20 contacts a day.
Yes. So we do that through our online leads, right? So we
Right,
have lots of online leads. We do that through some of our listings that we have. After
right,
the online leads that I provide, now they have to focus on social media, right? Having conversations on social media because it's about being social. Then they
right.
have to figure out their other pillars, whether that's open houses, whether that's door knocking, whether that's, contacting your past database, doing bank days, whatever it is, you need to do 20 contacts a day. That's what it is.
I
So
like that.
yeah,
That's good.
and then you can benchmark because then you don't know how like with real estate, it's all about not in real estate. Anytime you have your own business, you're in your head about, results, that. And if you don't track anything, I find that like how do you know if you did a good job today? You could have called all day today, but didn't have any sales, but you talked to 50 people. That doesn't mean that you didn't have a great day because you didn't
Right.
sale. It means that you have a lot of things in the coals to go forward, right? So you just have to
Yeah.
motivate you just have to keep contacting, motivating people and tracking, right? Like tracking's huge, scripting's huge. And now at least you can go back, like, what did I look this week? Okay, I called this people, I've talked to 100 people. Here are like 25 people that are warm, and here are like 3 people that are hot. So let's kind of figure this out, right? So it's a contact sport. You just have to be contacting people every day.
There is the mental part. Just, but I like that number. I like the number that you say because I could say, well, I called 10, 6 didn't answer. That was a good day for me. But
But
now
really,
I can't, no, I'm just saying that. But
yeah,
now I
exactly.
have this 20 figure in my head that once you have it, you can't get it out,
Exactly.
and it works for you guys. So
100.
why wouldn't it work here?
Yeah. And if you want this process to go faster, you do more. Do 40 contacts a day. You're going to sit and prospect for 6 hours and be painful. But remember, the good conversations that you have, I find respark your fuel.
They do.
Once you get that one closing, it's like, okay, I'm not closing, but what that one win, you're like, oh, perfect. Now I can move forward to the next one. Let's get another one on the go. The motivation's there. The call's back again, right?
Yeah.
So, which is super important. I also think that what is really important as well is that, you're building relationships. Because if you're just being transactional and you're just calling about something, people are gonna forget you. But if you're being relationship based, leading on their best interest first, always guiding them, obviously, which you're doing, and really showing them opportunity, people will refer great experiences like that.
Yeah. I agree.
So
I
you
agree.
just, everyone that you have to do today, you have to just kind of like chat with, build a relationship, and all you want is little wins. You want that conversation to just have a little bit more momentum leading forward, right? And that could look like this. Hey, Mitch, totally understand that, you're probably not ready for that in-person home assessment, but you know what I'll do instead just to help you out? I have a program called the Nosy Neighbor Campaign, and let's be real, we're all nosy. If a listing came up on your street, you can't tell me you wouldn't want to know how much it's worth, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on our system. It's a once a week kind of thing. Anything in your neighborhood that's similar to your home, we will sell you anything that just listed or just sold. You'll be the first to know. And until you're ready, I'll be checking in. But until you're ready, we'll just let me know if you need anything else. And now you're sending them something. So they didn't want anything, but you got them to
Right.
accept the nosy neighbor. So now you're top of mind anytime a listing comes out. So whether you're just on the beach chilling or having a great time, your listings are going out automatically and they think that you're sending it to them. And they're like, wow, this person's always working. And then when they're ready 7 months later, they're going to call you. So it's always about being top of mind and having your systems in place because your systems will make things work easier. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
one
Symptoms. Yeah.
hard because you get to a certain part and you're like, this is great. And then your mind gets blown on all the other stuff that you need to do. And you start working on that. And just like this never ending project that never ends. Right. But that's business.
Yeah. I'm thinking you
Right.
got my interest.
But hey, if you want to do some objections that you may have or you may think that you will have, I think that we should go through them so you have like kind of a script for them. And then, I look forward to seeing you joining next or, our next class. And
Yes. I'm excited about that part too.
good.
The ones, I haven't, I should actually, the ones I come about are mostly the general ones like, hey, I'm not in a hurry.
So,
We've kind of answered that one. I remember saying, hey, do you want me to come by and list it or not list it, but hey, I'll be in the area. You want me to come by? No.
I
Why
would say.
don't you just send me what you have?
So okay, give me some objections and we'll go through them.
Well, these are the ones I get.
Just give me one and I'll fire them and then we'll just keep going. So give me the one you want
Okay.
to know now.
Hey, Nick, I don't think I'm really ready to do anything. I just could you just send me what you have?
Yeah, for sure. So totally understand, and I understand that you're just in that information stage. You're not, ready to kind of get more assessed, right? Totally understand. But curious, are you not moving forward because you don't think it's possible, or do you not have a plan yet?
Actually, my wife's the one searching, and myself, I really don't have a plan. If she finds something, I might go look at it.
For
No, this
sure,
is one I heard. This is one I've heard before.
for sure.
I
So
want
so
to say, well, put your wife on.
exactly, right? So what I would say is like, hey, no problem. Well, do you know what kind of area you're looking at next?
Yeah, I really kind of want to scale down from where I'm at. My 4 bedroom, three full baths, maybe get down to 3 bedroom, two bath,
Yep. I
something
totally, I
like
totally understand. It's harder to downsize than upsize, right? So,
it is.
so I
Absolutely.
totally understand that. Well, this is what I can do for you, right? Like, I totally understand you're not ready to have anyone over, but I think a few things that you have to know. You have to know your real estate equation, right? And what is that, Mitch? It's what your house is going to sell for, and then what does that leave you to buy? You may have a
Right.
ballpark in your head, but it's like anything. If I have like a symptom and I'm thinking of what it is in my head and I'm really hypersensitive and I think it's like the worst thing ever, I go to the doctor, to a professional, and the professional assesses me and it's telling me that I'm okay, right?
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is that you may not really know what's out there, right? And you may have a number that actually is a lot more or a lot less, but we don't really know until a person comes in. But in the meantime of that, what we'll do is I'll send you listings on areas that you want to be, get you curious, and if you see anything you like, let me know and we can go take a look at it. But what I'm going to do, since I know that men don't really plan a lot of things, is give me your wife's email. I'll add her to this list, and if you or her sees anything, then let me know. We'll go see it. Or if you want me to add or remove some stuff in your criteria, we can do so as well.
That's good.
Just keep going, right? Because it's like, what are you going to say? You can keep saying no, right? Okay, no problem. Like, if someone's going to just keep saying no, I can keep objection handling. But at one point, they're going to say, fuck it. I'm just going to give them the information and get them off the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have found that even though I don't know it as well as you know that, when you get to that point, sometimes you keep talking, and when you get done, you go, "Oh, that's what I need to do." And then, of course, you get on to the 10 that don't work, and you forget about the one that worked.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
For sure. So,
That's
I mean, that's kind of where I would go with that. So, I would give you an objection, for example. Okay, so let's say this. Hey, yeah, no problem, Mitch. You can come over, but before you come over, I'm kind of rate shopping. Do you know how much is your percentage? Because if you're too much, I'm not going to waste my time.
Well, normally I would say, "Hey, look, I'm probably like everybody else." You know, I don't ever say 3%. I don't ever say stuff like that.
So
I
here's how you would deal with that
go
objection,
ahead.
right? Hey, Mitch, totally understand and respect that you're just kind of rate shopping, which I totally get. I'm the same way when I look at things. However, just like anything, you can't just only look at the rate, right? When you look at the mortgage, you're not just looking at the rate, right? You're also looking at the terms, right? Like how long is this for? How much money am I putting down? All this stuff. So the rate's one part of this scenario, but it's not the whole thing, right? Because you may be missing some really good opportunities by just looking at number face value. But let me ask you a question. Has there ever been a time in your life where you kind of overlooked something, and once you saw that, you're like, oh my God, that was right there in front of my face the whole time?
Yes.
So I've had those moments all the time, right? And I think this is kind of one of those same moments that are happening. But the good news is that we have different packages. So depending on what your rate is and what your budget is, we can definitely show you what's involved. But I think once you see some other things that other services that we provide with our vendors, which will help you net more money, so it'll get you a higher sale price, I think you may consider that. But why don't we let me take a look at your house? Let me see what the house needs, and then I can give you the best competitive rate that I can offer.
Yeah.
Right. So
Good. Yeah. Yeah. You got
yeah,
me.
I know, but that's the scripting. I think like the 9 out of 10 opportunities you're missing is because you're not scripted,
Right.
and that's the hard part.
I'm not scripted in the sense that it comes across like I know what I'm talking about. When you say, "Hey, do you know what's your cost?" I need to know I need to answer, kind of like what you said in certain terms, not, well, let me think about it now. Because
Yeah.
now I put in your mind, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. Or that, you're it's kind of like a weeding out question, right? Of like to see who's doing that, right? But I think at the end of the day, it's like, it's about being confident. If you
Right.
want to be like now dealing with sellers, you need to sound like this essentially, not
Right.
like this because you can do whichever way, right? But I'm just
Right.
saying you need to come off like this one. Like when someone talks to me about real estate, a different Nick enters the building. It's like, okay, perfect, right? And then I can go back to my daily Nick where I'm just chill and just living life.
Right. I agree with
So
that.
so I think really that's the thing that you got to focus on, which like you have to know what you're saying. Not saying that you don't know, but like coming off and saying things in my opinion, oh well, I'm probably similar as everyone else. Obviously, you probably wouldn't say that, but in your mind,
No,
you're like, "Fuck, what do I say?"
but I say it that way because, and that 3 seconds, I'm not sure what to say, so I'm going to say something.
Yes.
But it's the 3 seconds and the not sure what to say. And then he's going to ask a question, or I need to roll into it like, while we're talking about this, what about, see, you roll in to stuff and you keep,
Yeah.
it's a big difference, but that's what I sense. And that's the way I am with buyers.
Yes.
Like a buyer, you ask me any question about buyers, it's no problem. So that's where I'm learning.
For sure, 100%. But remember, it's the same thing in terms of like the house of the house, right? It's now just how you're going to present it and bring it to the market and control your client. So there's a lot more elements to it. And people
Yes.
are picky bitches, trust me. And they're all crazy. They're not all crazy. There's some really cool ones, but like most of the people, like you don't really know who they are until you're doing a deal with them. Like,
Yes,
you
I
know,
agree.
you know what it is, and you're just like, really, like you're arguing over $500 or $1,000 right now. Like, get the deal done. And it's like you're not trying to be insensitive, but it's just like in a grand scheme of things, yes, this seems like a lot of money, but on a mortgage, what is an extra 500 $1,000? Like
Yeah.
5 cents? Like okay, maybe a dollar. You know what I mean? Like it's just you want the house
I
or
know
not?
exactly what you're saying, but I can't believe just what you've helped me in this hour is exactly, seriously, and exactly what I needed to hear, especially the 20 calls, the 20 contacts, talking to 20 people a day and help
That's
me with this other stuff. Thank you isn't enough, but I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. That's what I'm here for. And honestly, I love giving back because I remember being right there where you're at, trying to learn. My story was first, I was doing a lot of leases and I was transacting, like I was able to transition some leases to purchases, which is fine. But I would always get leases. And it was just like I would never get like the buys and sells. And then
Right.
until Mitch, I did this. I'm no longer working with leases. I don't care if someone comes in with a really attractive budget of $10,000. I'm not doing leases anymore. I'm now just gonna focus on this. And you know what? Once I focused on this, I started getting more and more of it. So basically, the moral of the story is that whatever you focus on, that's what you're gonna grow with. So
Right.
just remember that.
Right. Whew.
I know.
Okay.
So I can't wait to hear that you've done 150 contacts this week. And
I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna tell the story next Wednesday to you, man.
yeah,
Seriously.
can't wait, man. Well, if you need anything, let me know. It was such a pleasure chatting with you, Mitch. If you have any objections that you're facing this week, just or next week or whichever until class, just write down, the objections, and we can go over, things that you're kind of going through.
Man, thank you again, Nick. Appreciate it.
No problem. Take care.